Hey guys, Carl Galler with Carl Galler Builds here. Today's episode is a little different. We're not going to be working on the beach buggy today. We're going to be working on this 2005 Volvo S80. It's a 5-cylinder. It's only got about 88,000 miles on it. It's a really nice little car. You can see quite a bit of brake dust on here. But today we're going to be doing a 4-wheel, rotors, and calipers. I've never done it on this car before. I've watched some other YouTube videos that are pretty comprehensive. Man, you can see the condition of those rotors. They've been a little noisy lately. So I think it's time to do it. Before I start yanking things apart, I need to get into this big boy from Detroit Axle. It's supposed to have every part that I need for this build: the 4 rotors, the brake pads, and the springs and stuff like that. So I'm going to get to undoing this box, and once we have it all apart, I will catch back up with you. Wish me luck. So I ordered these on Amazon. The whole kit was 147, whatever that says, 62. I mean, that's pretty impressive. These are the rear rotors that have the drum brake. Usually the pads on those things never go bad because you never use them. And then the front rotors, the front pads, the rear pads. Doesn't look like it comes with the brake shoes. All the clips, the springs. Even comes with a can of brake clean and a can of DOT3 brake fluid. That's pretty cool. Comprehensive, 147 bucks. I don't think you can go bad with that. So let's see if all the parts fit. I will say that on the S80s, and once again this is a 2005, they talk about different size rotors, and I did my best without undoing the wheel to measure the rotor. I think it was about 11 inches, and but everything else cross-referenced with the documentation online. So we'll take a look, and I will report to you. Sweating already. I don't know what the rationale is. I'm sure there's some fancy algorithm that says a stud is better than the studs that come out. But man, it just makes it such a pain to line up your wheel holes with your when you go put the tire back on. But I use the tire as a last defense against getting my face squashed along with the jack stand. Alright. Alright, let's do a quick examination. Big ridge. Metal to metal. Pretty simple job though. These little locating nuts are always a little pain as well. These dust covers come off. Allegedly. Come on, man. Oh, they come out of the ends. It's a little dust cap off the end. Okay, that's what it is. It's not the whole rubber thing that I was fucking up. That's very loosey-goosey, which I think means that this is metric. So I do have my metric handset. Oh, come on. So now I gotta get my phone, take a picture of what I'm not seeing down there. I should have paid attention when I was watching those videos. So it definitely is an Allen wrench. An Allen screw. Got this guy, fits in real snug. I'm gonna try it. I'm not gonna put too much pressure on it because I don't want to strip up the hex nut. Yeah, I broke it loose pretty easy. Saved me having to run and get a tool. Kind of sucks. Can't believe that of all the tools that I have, I don't have the proper size tool. Yeah, okay. Alright, broke that loose. I'm going to clean these up and grease them up before I put them back in there. That's why I'm pulling them out. You really don't have to pull them all the way out. You can just shove them in get them out of the way. But I want to get that ridge off of it and all. So got that out of the way. I don't have to be too careful with my pistons or anything like that, or my prying against the rotors, because I'm going to be pulling the rotors out. So these guys have clips, and I'm pretty sure they kind of hang up on this carrier that I need to remove them before I can pull this caliper off. But the kit comes with new springs, so I'm going to Alright, so now I should be able to whack this thing up a little bit. There we go. Yeah, I'd say these brake pads were pretty down low. That sucks. Yeah, these are pretty terrible. Shame on me. Alrighty, so what I like to do is I don't want to hang this caliper on this brake line, so I take a small bungee and suspend it from there. I will be back momentarily. Got my little tiny bungees. I can hang calipers. Before I do that, I'm going to compress the piston. And when you do this, sometimes you can push fluid back out through the master cylinder. Starting to see some drippage of brake fluid in the frame, so that's what that's from. Okay, so we got that nice and compressed. I'm going to try to hang this from the spring, get it out of the way. All right, that hangs it out of the way. Now I've got two nuts back here for the carrier. This is a 15 millimeter. It's not a super tight fit, but I think it's the right one. now I'm going to take these guys off. One 15mm 6-point with some Loctite on it. So it's a 2-part carrier, which I really was not aware of. This fits on like this. Considering all that time, it's really not too cruddy. I'm going to clean this up a bit and grease it up with some brake lube, but not too shabby all in all. Now we got this little guy. That is a little 10mm. I hope I got you in frame, guys, because I'm too lazy to get up and down. Little 10mm, and I have to get an actual maul and a 10-pounder. It's hub centric. Kind of galvanizes itself onto this hub. Voila. Alright. Big ridge here, about a 32nd. This is almost a 16th ridge on this side. So now the trick is making sure that the new rotor is exactly the same as this rotor. Hoping I chose properly. So it would be a pain in the ass if they were not. Hey now. Oh hell yeah. Voila. Perfecto. I'm happy about that. So first I'm going to degrease this a little bit because they grease them up here for so they don't rust out on the shelf. But so I'm going to degrease this off camera. That's where they supply the brake clean, which is pretty slick of them. And I will come back when we start assembly. Alright, I'm going to clean up this hub a little bit, get the crud off of it. Brake clean is such the coolest stuff since sliced bread, man. This is a nice little like a brass bristle. Actually, it's not. It's I guess it's just a little twisted galvanized bristle, but it's real. It's almost like a fingernail brush. It's not as coarse as like a welding brush. It just does a really nice job of cleaning stuff up. Just like that. That rotor's ready to go back on. Let me try to clean up this caliper a bit as well. The smoother everything rides along this rail, the better. There was a time where I would not have taken the time to do this, and it would have worked just fine. Alright, I think that's respectably clean. We get this rotor back, this new rotor on. So there's 5 chances for this this little set screw. So it's not a real hard task to get right. As long as you got a stud hole lined up, you're going to get that set screw lined up. So let's see if what I'm telling you is God's honest truth. And it is. It is the God's honest truth. Just for shits and giggles. I'll try to align one of these guys up. How about if I line two of these guys up? Nice and concentric, even though this set screw is literally just a set screw. It doesn't, you know, it's not the thing that this thing depends on to be centered. You know, why not set it right so it doesn't have, it has less of a chance of working loose. So really just snugs up. There's a guy on YouTube, I think it's Musty, who's awesome, does a lot of VWs and stuff like that, does a lot of will it runs, and his torque scale is Ugga Dugga. So that was one Ugga Dugga as far as the torque spectrum. And but I hate to steal other people's material, but he's a pretty entertaining guy. I'm gonna clean this carrier up too. I forgot to do that. I'm gonna do that off camera. On with the show. So I cleaned up this guy, and I wire brushed and cleaned up this guy, and now these guys go back on here. Now you could get this aluminum piece that I'm threading the bolt in right now, you could get this thing backwards because I did it. I went and looked at the other side. This fork on the bottom here, if you can see that, is facing inward to the center of the car, and I'm guessing that probably would not have been a good thing had I messed it up, the orientation. Now this piece, this carrier, can pretty much only go in one way because it cradles. It wraps around the rotor, so it's pretty much idiot proof, but things pretty much have to be idiot proof with me, because I am prone to doing idiotic stuff. Now I pounded this quite a bit with my rubber mallet to break it free, so I'm gonna give it some pretty good Ugga Duggas, because I don't have a big breaker bar on it. Ow! Fucker! Damn it! That hurt. That really hurted. So let me do it again. I like to hear that little squeak, squeak. Alright. That's on there good. I'm gonna lube up this guy here and these rails. So this is synthetic Caliper grease. I thought it was going to be the white stuff. Doesn't really matter to me. It's the blue stuff. Once again, in my younger days, I never used this shit. But, you know, the job calls for it. I just never used it. Save the $5. Alright, I'm going to break out these pads and these springs. Okay, the kit comes with clearly the inner inboard pad, the outboard pad. It comes with a couple of springs that go up in here, all up in there. one for each side, of course. So, I've seen the guys put a little bit of grease on this thing, on the back of the brake pad. Keeps down the squealing, I guess. So why don't I do it? Clean it off my fingers so I don't get my brake pads gooed up, greased up. Bye down. Come on, Mark, get in there. Then the other guy, he sits in here. Let's get this guy down into here. Slides right on. All right, I got these guys. They're kind of cleaned up. Besides the grease on my hands, I'm going to put a little bit of caliper grease on them because the caliper does ride up and down this doodad. Just going to put a little bit on each one. Figure shit out pretty good, but I'm definitely not a brake guy per se. Of course, now that I did that, it makes it real slippery. These ones I'm putting about a half a good look away. And I got the plastic caps for them, dust caps. Yeah, I'm gonna go back with the old one. Seemed to fit tighter. Okay, so that is finished for that side. Everything's nice and tight. I'm missing one cap. I'm embarrassed about that. But now I can put this tire back on, this wheel back on. And the left front will be done. That should have taken about 15 minutes in total. But between fooling around with the camera and chasing down some tools, took a little longer. So I am going to off camera do the other side at the front, and then I will get back to you guys when I'm ready to do the rears. So that's the end of this episode, guys. I actually thought I was going to do both the front and the back in one episode, but it turned out to be enough of an episode to just do the fronts on this Volvo S80. It's a 2005, and you know, it's all about content and you know, getting some videos up. So why not take all the footage and make 2 videos out of it? So anyway, hopefully this was of some benefit to you guys. Hopefully you learned something. You know, I've learned from guys just prior to doing this. I learned from some people on YouTube, and I added some stuff that I thought was missing from their videos. So, you know, we all kind of build on each other's efforts. So that's what it's all about. I love it, and I'd love to hear your comments. I'd love to hear, see your thumbs up. And I would love also for you guys to subscribe and share. So with that, this is Carl Galler from Carl Galler Builds, and I am out.